Hi guys, it's Lexie from the Usually Like Me collab, and Watson's back, and he wants to tell you all he loves you, and he loves me too, even though I accidentally trimmed one of his eyebrows off when I was trying to groom him, because I fail at life. Sorry for missing last week. I'll probably get around to uploading a video for it, because, well, Tumblr is, like, my favorite topic. I've been sick, though, so I'm trying to, get caught back up on everything. This week's topic is childhood memories. It can be positive, negative, mostly just like what your childhood was like. At least that's how I understood it. There's a shirt hanging from my top bunk. It looks really weird. It's not underwear, I promise you. It's a big white t-shirt. Yeah. Anyway, I have a tendency to just throw clothes around. I fail. So when I was little, my mom and I lived with my grandmother until I was almost 3 years old. That was pretty fabulous. My aunt was still, she was 14 when I was born, so for the first couple of years of my life I lived with her and my grandparents. And my mom while she was still doing college stuff. I have always been around animals as a kid. My grandma had our dog Lady. She was a black cocker spaniel, and she was the sweetest thing in the whole wide world. She used to snuggle up under my crib when I was napping to protect me. It's really fabulous. Always had a lot of cats. There was my cat Widget, and then we had Topo, Desi, Pootat, just lots of cats. So I was convinced that when I was going to a college that allowed pets, I was going to get a cat, and then my aunt gave me this little guy, and I wouldn't trade him for all the cats in the world. No, I wouldn't. Okay. So, most of my happiest memories as a kid revolved around my family and around animals. And that's something I've kept with me. I'm very close to my family, even when we don't get along. They're very important to me, and I love animals. Pretty much just, yeah, any animal, really, except lizards. Lizards freak me out. I had a bad experience with one once. I was at a party with one of my friends, and we were waiting outside for the party to start, and we were all like standing around on the back porch, and a little gecko comes crawling across the railing that my friend and I were leaning on, and she's like, "Oh cool, Alex, it's a gecko." I'm like, "Oh cool, whatever," and it jumps down my shirt between my boobs and just starts like trying to nest. I was screaming like a little bitch, and yeah, I will admit that I was screaming, and it was not a proud moment for me, but I'm not terrified of lizards and goats, but that's another story entirely, and y'all don't need to hear. Well, okay, it's childhood memories, maybe you can hear about them. When I was 2, my mom took me to a petting zoo, and we were over by the goats, and they had this little tray of like food right down below their pens so that you could feed them, and I leaned down to get a handful of the food, and I felt something tugging on my head, because the goat was trying to eat my hair, because it thought it was hay or straw or something. I don't know. I was traumatized. I still hate goats, and I hate lizards. Everything else is pretty much good with me. I like spiders even. Spiders are fabulous. I was thinking about having a pet tarantula, but the school I'm going to doesn't allow it, unfortunately. Yeah, so animals, big thing for my childhood. Another big thing for my childhood was I lived in my own head a lot. I was always doing imaginative games and stuff with my sisters, and like pretending we were part of our favorite books and movies and everything. We had this whole Harry Potter universe in our heads. Yeah. My sisters and I have always been very close because family's important to me, but also because I was homeschooled. The only times I have been in public school were for my 8th, 9th, and half of my 10th grade year. Other than that, I've been homeschooled completely. And we were Navy brats, so we moved around a lot. So between moving around and being homeschooled, I never really made friends. I mean, I would sometimes, but not really. Navy brats are notoriously bad at keeping in touch. So my sisters and my cousins were my best friends growing up. They were the only constants I had that were close to my age. So Brenna and Jesse and I were very close. We're still very close, and it's something that I think has made me stronger as a person, to be able to be so connected to my little sisters. So that was a big thing for me during my childhood, was just loving and being around my sisters. So there's that. So, animals, living in my own head, my sisters. Yeah, it's pretty much my childhood. It was kind of boring. I was the notorious good girl. I never did anything wrong. I would cry when people got mad at me. Seriously, I would. My mom would, she used to joke about how when I was in trouble, all she'd have to do was give me a look and I would start crying and apologizing. She wouldn't even have to, like, send me to my room or yell or spank me or anything. She would just give me the look that meant I was in trouble, and I would just start crying. Kind of grew out of that. I mean, I still hate disappointing people, but I've made exceptions. So I think that in a lot of ways my childhood did shape who I turned out to be, or who I'm turning out to be, but then in a lot of ways it's kind of a complete dichotomy from what I was and who I am now, and I think that that's pretty fabulous because most of the parts of my childhood that I don't like about myself, I've managed to grow out of that, and I'm pretty happy about that. I will upload a Tumblr video as soon as I can to talk about the fabulousness that is Tumblr. You can come talk to me on my Tumblr. I will put links for my Tumblr, my email, and anything else I can think of in the description. Come talk to me whenever you need. If you have any questions, comments, or possible topics for the collab, let us know. You can comment on any of the videos and ask questions or anything. Tell us what you want to hear about, and we will talk about it for you, okay? I love you guys. You are fabulous, and Watson loves you too. He says bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Watson. Say bye. No, don't chew on me. Oh, yawn. Bye, you guys.